Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm Berzins, and today we're talking about one of the most urgent topics in geopolitics: how Vladimir Putin is manipulating the West through what I call negotiation theater. You've seen the headlines about the Trump-Putin meetings, the peace promise in Ukraine, and maybe you thought finally a light at the end of the tunnel. But sorry, you're being played. Today, I will show you exactly how Putin used a 10-point manual to buy time, build up his military, and humiliate the West. If you're into geopolitics and want the backstage view of the most important war of the 21st century, stay with me to the end and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's start with the basics. What just happened? We had the Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska, almost 3 hours of talk that at the end of the day produced no concrete result, nothing, zilch. No real concessions from Russia. Putin walked away as the big winner. And why? Because he managed to present himself as an indispensable world leader to his domestic audience and to the BRICS countries. Right after that, Zelensky met European leaders in Washington, D.C. The difference in tone was striking. While Putin put on pure spectacle and theater, the Europeans talked real solidarity, concrete security guarantees, and continued military aid. But here's the problem. The West is still falling for Russian tricks. Let's break them down. Putin doesn't improvise. He follows a battle-tested script used in dozens of conflicts, a script that comes from the Soviet Union. Here are the 10 points of that manual. Points 1 to 3 form the strategic base. First, Putin always asks for the maximum, even things he never had any right to. For example, total demilitarization of Ukraine, a puppet government, Crimea and Donbass forever. So zero flexibility. Second, strategic endurance. Putin prepares for the long game. He knows he can hold out longer than the West, which wants quick fixes. Ultimatums and threats play on our habit of conceding too fast to dodge confrontation. Third, strategic ambiguity. Putin blurs his red lines. Nobody knows when he will escalate or back off, so constant uncertainty wears down the other side and rewards patience. Points 4 to 5, initial engagement tactics. So, fourth point, endless meetings in an endless, like a circle of meeting in a forever meeting. It's a meeting theater. Putin is always ready to talk, and this creates fake goodwill where none exists, pure camera show. Fifth, agree on goals without offering solutions. Peace matters, stability matters, sure, of course, but there is no real plan from the Russian side. A time waster that freezes the status quo. Points 6 to 8. Process control. Sixth point, legitimacy theater. Negotiations become a showcase to legitimize the Kremlin at home and abroad without giving up anything. Seventh, narrative monopoly. State media and friendly outlets push the line that any stalemate is Western stubbornness, never Russian obstruction. Eighth, coalition splitting. Putin used side talks to peel allies away one by one, sowing doubt about unity. Points 9 and 10, pressure and false progress. So, ninth point, mirage concessions, short ceasefires, prisoner swaps, headlines that vanish the moment cameras go off while core demands stay put. 10th point, and this is the biggest one, never give ground, always squeeze. Accept part of his demand, he demands more. Each small win proves the whole prize is within reach. Now, why is Putin so confident? Because everyone watches the diplomatic circles. Russia is rebuilding its war machine. The numbers are impressive. Russia plans to produce between 70,000 and 80,000 Shahed-type drones in 2025 alone. The Alabuga plant cranks out more than 100 Shaheds per day, and China is actively helping Russia scale up mass production of these drone systems. Russia is rapidly building dedicated drone forces that, according to the plans, could result in 6 to 7 regiments and roughly 15 to 16 battalions by the end of 2025. These will be integrated directly into motorized rifle and airborne divisions as well as specialized strike units. So within 18 to 24 months, they also project drone forces of about 200,000 personnel across more than 200 battalions in total. And that's just what is declassified and it is on the surface. And then because of China, Russia may, and look, here it's might, it's a possibility, leapfrog Ukraine in advanced solutions, particularly electronic warfare systems and integrated counter-drone capabilities. And to that, the steady flow of contract soldiers, the re-equipment of new divisions in the Leningrad military district, and ever tighter domestic control. And in theory, Russia can transform its armed forces to something really serious, something really that might threaten Europe. Now, those are the plans, but the question is, can the Russians pull them off? Because plans without resources are just hallucinations, and there are several problems. All the drone tech depends on China. The one giving Putin this opening is Xi Jinping, and then it's obvious that China is waging a proxy war against Europe and the United States by using Russia on the Ukrainian stage. Second, Russia has a very serious demographic problem. Even in a favorable scenario, the number of dead, maimed, and traumatized people, like unable to function normally in society, will be huge. The same thing happened after the Afghan war in the 80s, and exactly that helped destabilize the Soviet Union. Third, Russia's economy is on shaky legs. Oil prices are volatile and global demand is trending down long term. Think, for example, electric vehicles, alternative energy, and so on. This year's harvest, on the other hand, is on track to be the worst in years. In July, grain exports fell to their lowest level for that month since 2008. Unseasonable spring frost damaged more than 250,000 hectares of crops, with 100,000 hectares lost outright. Then record heat over 40 degrees Celsius, that's around 100 Fahrenheit, and severe drought devastated almost 500,000, 500,000 hectares. Rostov Oblast even declared a state of emergency. Fields once golden with wheat were left cracked and dry, cutting the wheat forecast from 90 million tons to 80 to 84 million tons, and total grain output from 158 million tons in 2022 to around 130 million tons. So yes, plans can be hallucinations, but they are trying. It's worth to pay attention. Even though the February 2022 escalation started as a strategic disaster, Russia has evolved. Now Putin sees a real strategic edge. He's not negotiating, he's playing with Trump's desire for a deal and his apparent hunger for a Nobel Peace Prize. Meanwhile, Moscow keeps strengthening its military and repositioning its economy for a prolonged war. Russia offers are insults in disguise. Lavrov has already said Russia wants a say in any security guarantees, exactly what points 9 and 10 forecast. The Russians are doing everything they can do to convince Trump they're acting reasonably, while laying down conditions Zelensky will obviously reject, making him look unreasonable. So the crucial question is, what does all this mean for the West? First, credibility risk. Every failed round lets Putin claim the moral high ground and makes Western leaders look naive. Second, lost time. While leaders chase photops, Russia keeps building its drone army and hardening its economy. Third, alliance friction. Side deals and mixed message strain transatlantic unity. Fourth, copycat threat. If this playbook works, other strongmen will recycle it in future crises. Therefore, Russia's negotiation theater isn't peacemaking. It's a stalling act that lets the Kremlin scale up and rewire its economy for a longer war. The West's window to act is closing fast. If Putin fields 200,000 drone troops and resets the military balance, the post-war world will be far more dangerous and polarized, even for us, the West. Well, that's it, folks. What do you think? How do you see the West handling this geopolitical chess game? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like and subscribe for more straight talk on geopolitics and economics. Next time, I will discuss practical takeaways for senior leaders from these Russian negotiation tactics and how to turn them into competitive advantage. See you soon. Goodbye.